going on, guys? Hey, how are you? Look at this. We're all doused pretty in pink. Well, I don't know about all that, but we are definitely, man, wait till you see the track tonight. Welcome to the NNR Xfinity Series. Going to be live from Bristol Motor Speedway under the lights. It's going to be a phenomenal time. The guys are all done with qualifying, done with their connection test, done with all that, ready and set to get going. Man, it's gonna be a phenomenal race. Got about 18, 19 cars that are gonna be out here. All of them yet again, Expert Racing live in the booth with me. Expert, man, it looked like a pink tidal wave rolling around Bristol Motor Speedway, around this concrete canyon, around Thunder Valley. Thunder Valley looked very, very feminine to me tonight, buddy, but it's all in tribute to Unforgotten Shadow's mom and her recent unfortunate, but what not quite sure what the word I'm looking for right now is, a very, very unfortunate diagnosis, but the road that she's looking to isn't as grim as what everybody thought. She's gonna be okay. It's a whole lot less than what everybody was originally thought about her. But Expert, we're here, man. Night number 2. Trucks got it done last night with TGM Beast. Who do you got winning for tonight, buddy?
Well, tonight there's a lot of guys to definitely look at. Of course, you can't cut anything short with the J-Pop Militia guys in the field. Those guys are going to be tough, as well as Unforgotten Shadow, of course, with this being the tribute to him. He's proven he's worth his weight in gold over the past several weeks and is always a contender as well. Also looking at guys like Yotes King and King Mathers as well. King Mathers, our winner from last week. So like last night, it could be a toss-up between a bunch of different guys, but can't wait to see these cars go at it in the field, and it's going to be a tough one for us to call tonight.
Yeah, it really will. And I tell you what, I sent out a tweet earlier. After last week's race, there was a whole lot of talk about Payback and what a place to get it done, other than, Bristol Motor Speedway. Big hello, and thank you to the one and only Rock NASCAR out there in chat, as well as Tree Wade saying, hey, y'all. Man, Colonel's 10-piece, he's out there saying, love you, Unforgotten Shadow. Yeah, we love and care about him, too. Just waiting on that ever-important invite to get into the lobby, catch up with these guys. We'll take you through the field, as always, and then we'll go ahead and set them green. There is the invite from Q-Dog right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get you your invite, and then we're gonna get this rolling.
Alrighty.
And there you go. All right. So
thank you very much, sir.
You got it. You're still looking at that beautiful Fanatec equipment that all the drivers from Pro League Season 2 were able to pick up. Now Harvick fan out there, he's saying, hey, and one of our in-cars as well, old Sinapuse out there in chat, good luck to him, good luck to Unforgotten Shadow, and also good luck to Combat Beast. They'll have all 3 of our onboards tonight. About to find out where they're all going to start, and yeah, we're going to go from there. Man, Bristol Motor Speedway under these lights, a whole lot of pink here. That's what I was just, look at this field. Look at this amazing field, I tell you. So let's go through the field. We got the 15 of King Mathers. He's got the pole. 4-car PTH the GOAT to the outside. 54 of KFB 18 P number 3. The 20 of Duramax P4. 48 of Yotes King with the 11 of Sinapuse to his outside. 5-car Lil Tank. The 10 of Old Tweeter. 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, the man of the hour. Combat Beast sitting in that 8. The 51 of Honeycutt. Good to see him back. There's the 9 of our series points leader, old Q-Dog. Bill's Legend rocking that 47 Trump machine. Baritone Boss in the 44. LXTX7 rocking the single 0 with the 98 of Master Killer running tail end Charlie. With the 1 of Colt 315 and the 13 of Commando Griff. Expert, as always, back up front, getting ready to go. Man, this back stretch is very short. The front stretch very short. It seems like the turns go on for miles. All in a half mile, high banked, short track. Speedway. Man, there's nothing like it. We're going green, buddy. King Mathers, call us there.
And here we go, King Mathers with a great jump here, heading to the green flag here for Bristol, night number 2 here in the NNR Xfinity Series. And he's going to pull out to one heck of a gap already, as he has about 3 car lengths on second place, and he's going to come around and lead lap 1. Now he's going to get a challenge to the inside. PTH, the GOAT, able to get one heck of a run off of turn number 4. He's trying to look to the inside, and I think this could be another battle we saw last night with Tenacious and, of course, Spoiled Milk, being Mathers, the veteran that has always been good and a guy that has been known for his success here. And then you have PTH, the GOAT, the young upstart, only making a few starts so far this season. Now going to be in second and looking to chase down and try to get P1.
Yeah, doing a phenomenal job, really hanging right there. Looks like we've actually got a little bit of a 3-car breakaway from 4th on back. Now just about a 5 or 6 car length distance, really seeming to run the high side. I would imagine a lot of the guys that are on a bit of a higher preset are going to be a bit higher. That way they've got a little bit more room, a little bit more slide with the tires. But man, look at this tidal wave of pink out there. Something that NNR always does with all of their family members. Exactly what it was. Unforgotten Shadow relayed the message that his mom had been diagnosed with breast cancer. Pink, obviously the color for breast cancer awareness, and about a week later she got the prognosis that the amount of cancer was only about as big as an eraser tip on like a number 2 pencil. So while it turned out very, very good, nobody likes that C word in general. And man, J-Pa and the entire Xfinity series really, really stepped up the level of pink tonight. We're pink here in the booth as well. Now we got a top 4 breaking away. Expert, they are just they're knocking these laps off in a phenomenal amount of time.
Certainly, and some guys that we've talked about, guys that can be up here and show speed. You know, guys that we usually don't see in the top 3 or so that are getting up here. I'm looking at the guy in 3rd place right now, that 20 of Duramax. We haven't really seen him be able to show top 3 speed over the few weeks, but right here, he's up here not really losing that much time to Mathers or PTH, the GOAT. In fact, he's just sitting here cruising along with these guys, and he's got a whole trail of he's basically broke away from the pack along with 4th place with this top 4, but all those cars behind him, and he's up here with this top 4 that is just broken away. He's really impressing me earlier in this race.
Yeah, Duramax, absolutely. I think this is like his 3rd, maybe 4th race here with the NNR Xfinity Series. Joined the series a little bit late, one bouncing off the wall just a little bit. I'm waiting to see the point when or if these guys actually migrate down to the bottom side, or if the high lane is the fast lane around here. Ever since they reconfigured the track many moons ago, it's always been up around the bottom, where you really never wanted to get off the bottom. In races, years back. So these top 4 really utilizing the momentum up high, sticking right together. You got to wonder if they're just cruising nose to tail, waiting to count down these old other 70 laps or so here in stage number 1. But so far, all clean, all green. Haven't really seen a whole lot. Going to work our way through the field. Expert, these guys doing a great job.
Certainly, and somebody else that we've been looking at and mentioning a lot over the past few weeks. You were on camera with him, and you still are actually. 48 of Yotes King, sitting back here in the pack. He's got a lot of traffic around him. He's going to have to find a way to make it through there. But right now, he's currently sitting, and it looks like about 8th place right now as he's trying to make his way up through the rest of the top 10. But look for him to possibly be strong later in the run. We've talked about him a lot, and he's been a closer in some of these races.
Yeah, 48 of Yotes King. He's always seems to be right around the top 5 when push comes to shove. Something I'm very glad that we haven't seen a whole lot of yet. is that pushing and shoving. And speaking of pushing and shoving, there is the driver of the 55 truck from last night. Old Vols out there in chat. Vols, buddy, thank you for the 15 bits. Sir, glad to see you out there. Thanks for coming on out. Man, it's been an up and down week for Vols and Unforgotten Shadow, and I think there was a guy, I forget his name right now. Oh, Yeti, that was in the race last night. He actually ended up with a house fire, kind of ruined a couple of the rooms in his home last night. So there's a lot going on in the NNR family that we're all pulling for. But man, these guys and the tribute to Unforgotten Shadow tonight, it's like second to none. They did a phenomenal job with all these different paint schemes. Speaking of Shadow, just catching up with him right now, rocking this number 78, loves Toyota Supra, running that high side where Chevy said if you get into the corner and you diamond it out, you get massive runs coming off. Well, I'm guessing he's listening to Chevy because that's exactly where he's at.
Definitely, and looking at the different guys throughout the field, it's going to be interesting to see. A big thing that won TGM Beast the race was the mistakes of others, but also pit strategy was a big thing throughout the race for a lot of these guys. When to pit, and of course, like what track position you can gain off of different pit strategies, or of course lose if you're caught on the short end of the stick. So I know we're a long ways away from having our first pit stops, but that's something to keep in mind here at Bristol, especially with the pit entry and exit rules that are being put in place for tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. The last time I saw them come on by the start stripe, actually check it again right now, there's 59 to go, and there's about 54 laps of fuel. On a very, very short track like this, for the amount of time that you're in the throttle, I would imagine you'd be able to throw it down into neutral if you've got a shifter and really just let it coast at least, half to 3/4 away through the corners, and then get back hard on the throttle and save that little bit of fuel that you need in order to go the entire distance on that one tank of fuel. We'll have to see if anybody plays that. I know there's a lot of guys out here that spent the time, spent the money to get the equipment in order to be able to make races like this work in their favor. We'll have to see who grabs max points here in stage number 1. Again, just under 60 laps to go.
See, and one thing though that these guys have to keep in mind when it comes to strategy here, it's very similar to Phoenix. Tires, in my history here, tires have always wore down faster than fuel, so that could be also another wrench that are thrown into these guys' strategies.
Yeah, very, very possible. Still going through the field. Got the 9 car of Q-Dog. Q's looking pretty solid. As he's going through the corner, I don't really see him breaking free. Got a little bit of a push. I believe that's going to be from the 47 of Bill's Legend. And as Bill's gets loose, the 9 car just looks like he rockets away. That's the difference between loss of grip and having the grip in the front end to be able to launch off the corner and not get loose. All these guys starting, I would imagine, pretty low on the preset, maybe a 1, maybe a 2. I don't think I'd go much higher than that. It looks like we got 1 to go ahead and spin around. That would happen right in front of the 9. Good thing he was able to get on by. Still, not the 9 of Q-Dog, your overall series points leader, but that lead has actually been shrinking from what I hear. Right
now, that's going to be a big thing, especially with the playoffs nearing. We're, of course, in the second half of the schedule. So something for Q-Dogs, he needs to get back focused as far as a driver. Not saying that he's not focused already, but, of course, something has to be happening for him to be losing that points lead. Whether you're in a bad part of the schedule for him, he's not comfortable at these tracks that we're going to right now, or just some bad luck. So it's just something you got to be able to stay focused. You got to be able to stay patient and keep your confidence up, and be sure not to panic. Even though he may lose the points lead, you got to keep in mind the big picture of what's coming ahead of you in the playoffs.
Yep. Talk about knowing what's coming ahead of you in the playoffs. Also catching up with the 44 of Baritone Boss. Treeway messaged earlier in the chat that he's pulling for this 44. Right now, Baritone looking like he's all right. He's sitting behind he's sitting right behind the 47 of Bill's Legend, and he's kind of taking the shorter way around the track, where others seem to be very, very content just running the high side. But if you run the high side and you just slightly miss your mark, or as the runs go on, your car gets tighter, you also run a very, very big risk of smacking that outside wall. We saw a lot of that last night in the Truck Series.
Definitely, and a lot of guys making contact. One thing I noticed different here between Xfinity and the Truck Series is that a lot of the Truck Series guys were like 3-4. Oh, as we have a wreck, Yotes King. That might have been lag, but he was all over the place, and now a bunch of cars getting in the way, stacking up a little bit. But something that, now I'm going to bite my tongue on this, but a lot of guys in the Xfinity Series just a few laps ago weren't going 2 and 3 wide. Now we're seeing it a little bit more as guys get stacked up together. But that's one thing that we saw a lot more in trucks, though. There was one pack that was consistently 2, 3 wide going into the corners, and that cost those guys a lot of time and possibly a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that these 2 and 3 wide moves that we're seeing a little bit later in the race weren't tried earlier in order to get up with that top 4, that top 5. When the tires are newer, you want to try to make those moves. You don't want to do that right now where you're slipping and sliding all over the place because most of your grip is gone. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Now, 42 laps remaining here in Stage 1, Expert.
And with 42 laps remaining, it's going to be a thing for these guys to be able to try to think about what they want to do with this race. They're 42 laps into the run. They're getting the feel of their cars on both the long run, and they've already felt it on the short run. So right now it's an idea for these guys to see what they can do. Right now Mather's stuck in lap traffic here. Of course, with the guys behind him, he's got to be able to hold them off. What is so confusing now, we were mentioning it before, right now you can only tell by the names of these guys on what position they are in and who's lap cars and who's not, because right now just the sea of pink has pretty much taken over Bristol.
Yeah, I'm kind of working around through the 3 different onboards that we've got between Cinepuse, Unforgotten Shadow, and Combat Beast. I'm going to switch over to Combat Beast right now, and let's see, he's running in P16. Cinepuse is running in P number 7, so I'll see if I can catch up with him. And it looks like, I mentioned these guys were able to go a whole lot further. There's third now. Actually, there's only 37 laps, so whoever I was just on is a couple laps down. I'm guessing they got maybe wrecked out and I missed it. But Cinepuse's tires are screaming right now, which is something I can absolutely imagine would be happening. 36 to go instead of that 49 that I mentioned. So something happened, or that car pit to try to get their setup in, maybe get a little bit of a heads up on Stage 2. But if this goes green the whole way, the person that pits early to work on their setup, if they didn't practice just a normal preset setup, it's gonna be a very long night for them. NNR is well known for going green most of the way.
Definitely, and right now, bad news for Cinepuse. Right now, you talk about his tires already screaming. For a lot of these guys that are saving right now, and I'd imagine it'd be guys like King Mathers and guys along that line, they could probably make it another good amount of laps right now, especially if they're not rearing the right front as much as some of these guys in the back have. As right now, KFB trying to get up there to make a challenge on the outside of King Mathers. Not going to happen, though. King Mathers still trying to battle his way through this traffic right now as he's side by side with Little Tank. He's going to be able to clear him off the corner here. But right now, it's going to come down to how much you can save on these tires, on how long you can try to stretch out this run and try to go in later in the race.
Well, I tell you what, running along still with Cinepuse, I'll actually try to catch up with him here on the track. There he is, rocking this number 11 Loves, I believe it's Camaro. his right front right now is lower than his car number, to give you an idea of how much he's hurting. 30 laps to go, 19 laps left in the tank. I think here is where you go on down pit road. Don't risk the front right popping and harming your chances of being able to have a great run in stage number 2. But definitely want to give a big thanks to Cinepuse, to Unforgotten Shadow, and also Combat Beast for allowing us to ride along throughout the night. These guys, they're dueling it out, still caution free, as we see the one and only Stout Whiskey enter the chat. Stout, good to see you, buddy.
Right now, looking throughout this field, Cinepuse is already going to go down pit road like you mentioned. Now looking at the other guys, this might trigger some green flag pit stops right here. Of course, we're seeing the first Duramax getting loose off the corner, but you have guys all stacked up together. KFB, King Mather still up here in P1 and P2. But going throughout the field, you got to expect some of these guys near the back to try to go in. Right now, Little Tank is going to follow suit and go down pit road. So expect a lot more cars to start heading down pit road here. And let's see who can get it woed down and avoid a penalty.
Yeah, a little different tonight. Instead of pitting off of turn 4, they've actually got to hit the apron by the end of the wall going into turn 3. So everybody's got to do their best to keep up some speed on that apron, navigate it all the way around. Don't get loose. Don't wreck yourself back up on the track, and possibly collect others. These so far, everybody that's gone in has done a pretty good job. Most of the cars still out on track. It'll be interesting to see how much longer they can stay out. When Cinepuse went in to grab at least right sides or 4 tires, not 100% sure, he went 2 laps down. So that's what everybody here is looking at. Is there somebody that's going to play the fuel game early on to grab max points? Just like a few people out there in chat are saying, it's only stage 1.
And this is a big filling out period for a lot of these guys. Notice we haven't seen that much aggression being shown so far, as right now, oh, what a save. PTH, the GOAT, nearly got cut off into pit road, and he was able to save it and barely missed the commitment cone. So a great run for him right there to be able to miss and not get forced down the wrong side of pit road.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are doing their best in order to be able to save these Chevys, Toyotas, and Fords. You see another 1 or 2 or more cars coming on down pit road. Copperhead 0611 asking if that is Dustin. Not quite sure who Dustin is, but welcome to the NNR Xfinity Series, all the same, live from Bristol. Good to see you out there. In the booth with me is none other than the one and only Expert Racing Expert. If your first name is Dustin, well, you got a hello out there.
Well, I mean, definitely my name's not Dustin. I mean, the closest thing is my middle name, but it's still not Dustin. So, I mean, but either way, definitely happy to have another viewer here joining us in the NNR community, and definitely honored to be up here in the booth with you to provide more NNR action. It's definitely been a fun weekend, or not weekend, it feels like a weekend, but a fun week of NNR action, and can't wait to carry it over, as well as we have the Cup Series tomorrow, and you have a busy week ahead of you as well.
Yeah, Cup Series tomorrow. Friday night's going to be the NNR iRacing Series live from Michigan. I'll be carrying that from my number 8 Chevy Silverado. It's going to be a good time. Saturday, right back with NNR Pop Bear and his turn down for what series. And then Sunday, Unforgotten Shadows League Shadow Racing will be live from Talladega to kick off Season 2 to find out who's going to be joining us in Daytona come August. It's going to be a great time. Man, I'm trying to get through the field as quick as I can, find out where our leaders are. But man, it is just a mixture of everything. Some people still have not come down pit road, trying to play everything related with fuel, trying to make their front right or their right rear last as long as it can, man, they're still after it. Nobody wants to give. Everybody wants to take that extra drop of gas or that extra cord on their tire and make it last.
Right now, still looking at these guys, and like you mentioned, if you can save those tires and make it to where gas wears the most, that could be the one thing that these guys try to hold on to. Of course, notably, when you save tires, more than likely you're going to save a lot of gas too, because you have to be out of the throttle a lot with both. So right now it's going to be up to where King Mathers decides to go in at. We've already seen a few guys head down pit road, but right now still King Mathers out on track, still leading up here in Bristol, and has put a large amount of vehicles already one lap down. So it's going to be interesting to see who all gets trapped a lap down. I don't know if he's playing for a caution or if he has been able to work out a strategy to where he can save all the way through stage one. But if he can, that is certainly an impressive feat.
Dr. Bush out there wondering who's winning. Well, I tell you what, Dr. Bush, I can't be 100% sure. In case you haven't seen, behind King Mathers, nothing but pink cars. In front of King Mathers, nothing but pink cars. So, which means they're all custom. So, what do you think it is on the broken track map that 704 gave us? Oh yeah, and by the way, there's no ticker up top either. I don't know, buddy. I'm sorry to tell you. I think King Mathers is still in the lead, but I can't be 110% sure, as I normally like to be. But either way, you know what? It doesn't matter. All these cars, as King Mathers just now coming on down pit road, and it doesn't look like he's got anybody behind him, so I think he just surrendered the lead. We'll have to see if anybody else follows him. Now riding along with the 8 of Combat Beast, as he's showing 6 laps to go. He's not quite, he's in P number 8, so I'm not quite sure who the leader is now. Hopefully we can find out. I think the leader right now should be coming off of turn 4, so I think it's just in this pack right ahead of Combat Beast, or he is the leader. Let's see if we can't get a little bit of action in this pack here.
And right here, King Mathers off of pit road, now 3 wide here right as he exits. What a way to get back on track, but 3 wide right there with KFB, and also the 0 of, I believe that is going to be the 0 of, scrolling all the way through here, still looking, the 0 of LXTX7, and all these guys with fresh tires, a little bit of contact right there. Still not sure who the leader is right now, but still enjoying this sea of pink, and otherwise still thoughts and prayers out to a quick and speedy recovery to Unforgotten Shadows' mom. Definitely this is what this tribute is for here tonight, and definitely all the love and support to her from our family to yours.
Absolutely. I tell you what, we just watched KFB 18 make one hell of a great move, very reminiscent of what an Earnhardt might have pulled here at Bristol. He was blocked by a lap car, decided to go ahead and take it down all the way on the apron and be able to make a pass on a lap car, keep up with the 2 guys that he was fighting for. That's going to be the end of stage number 1. What a way to go ahead and wrap it up. And looks like, I can tell you, Cole 315 was in 3rd, Baritone Boss. It's going to be Commando Griff in that 13 to go ahead and grab max stage points. So good job by Commando Griff. Man, good job by everybody out there. Stage number 1's in the books, all caution free here from Bristol under the lights. Guys doing a great job as always.
Right now, something interesting though, all the way up to 6th place was lapped, and King Mathers currently sitting in the lucky dog position. So a lot of great drivers 1 lap down, and that's going to throw a huge wrench into the rest of this race.
Yeah, it absolutely will throw a huge wrench into the rest. I'm working my way back up front. Looks like it's going to be the 54 with the 13 of Commando Griff. So Commando Griff starting off right where he left off. He was the control car, but it looks like the 51 on the outside line, not the 51, That's kind of a broken. It's going to be the 54. There we go. I believe that's what it is anyway. That template's all broken. Yeah, 54 of KFB 18. He got a great jump on the 13 of Commando Grip. Everybody behind him, side by side, as far as the eye can see, expert. Stage number 2 getting started. Just as stage number 1 started, everybody looks like they just took the green. Here we go one more time.
Definitely, and they say new stage is a new chance to get those belts strapped up again and go after some more points, and it definitely is. Near 3 wide in the back of the pack, 2 wide for several rows, and right now KFB just looking to try to pull away, and this is something we saw a lot in the Truck Series race, in which these guys were able to get into that clean air and try to be able to pull away. You pretty much control the race at that point with the different blocking schemes and how guys try to follow your line. You can really throw them off of a pattern, especially if you switch lines so far. And I believe we may have already had our first retirement of this evening, as LXTX7 there and that 0 Camaro, he's going to be the first one out of tonight's action.
Yeah, I got to give a big old shout out to Chevy out there in chat. He said if you can get up on the high side and diamond out the corner, you can carry a whole lot of momentum off that backside. Well, we just watched the 11 of Cinepuse pull up to the back of the 8 of Combat Beast, get to his outside, get to his front, and pull away from Combat Beast, all using that high side. So Chevy, you're 100% right. And we just watched Cinepuse put that line to the test, and he passed the 8 rather with flying colors. Papa Bear, buddy, thank you very much for the sub. Absolutely appreciate it. 5 months in a row of no commercials for the one and only Papa Bear. Guys out there in chat, if you go down to my about information, you'll see a link to the Turn Down for What series. If you're interested in a great league on Saturday nights, usually about 8 to 8:30, they're looking for drivers for their new Truck Series, as well as to bolster their roster for their Cup Series, which will kick back off once this season ends. Right now they're in the pro season, but if you're a clean racer, you've got a good reputation, you've got great track awareness, a good internet connection, I'm sure Papa Bear would love to hear from you. Go on down, hit the About section, look for the Turn Down for What logo, and hit Papa Bear up on his Weebly website. He'll reach right back out to you, and I'm sure he'd love to hear from you.
Right now, still continuing on here, and we talked about how great NNR is, especially with their Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and Cup Series. All the stuff they've been able to do here on console, but big announcements have been going all over the place and all that. And Pete, sometimes it's hard for us to talk about it all the time, and I think the one place that all this is shared at, NNRleague.com, definitely one of the most professional websites here in console and console esports and all that here, especially. And I think we may have a caution out now. Yeah, we do. Caution's out for the first time here tonight. Not sure why. Did not see a wreck throughout the field. But as I was saying, of course, NNRleague.com, where you can find the schedules, everything that you need to know here about NNR, as well as the Zazzle page, in which you can buy some of the fastest coffee mugs, sweatshirts, and even the famous Vols fan towel from the iRacing section that just opened up. Of course, you mentioned they're getting prepared for that. You can find all that at NNRleague.com. Definitely go check it out, and be sure to go check out the social media pages. On Twitter, it's at NNR Sim League, and of course on Facebook, you can look them up at No Name Racing League.
You called it right at the end. Vols, I see you out there, buddy. You know where the door is. You want to come up and join the old expert and I. Just shut the door behind you. It's kind of drafty. Come on up, buddy. All right, so it looks like we're restarting. Everybody's able to get one more set of adjustments in. The 13 of Commando Grip starting right behind that 54, just as he did. And just as in the restart for stage number 2, that 54 with a great launch. I tell you, anytime you got one of those shifters, it seems like you got just about an extra tenth in the bank, as the 15 of King Mathers now running down that 54 to take P2 from the 13. Looks like the 13 is fading back just a little bit. That high side momentum seems to be working for many others, just as we saw for the 11 of Cinepuse.
Definitely, and one thing that we haven't seen is the bottom work. It came in later in the run last night for the truck guys, but right here, side by side for the lead still, the 15 of King Mathers has been putting together some impressive runs, and he might actually clear the 54 here going into this corner. Just using the bottom, he's going to be able to clear him off exit. So these guys that have been able to make sure they can use all these lanes have been the ones that have shown the most success so far. And right now, for those guys who can't, it's going to be a battle to see what adjustments they can make to be able to do so, as we are back under caution, I believe.
Yeah, back under caution one more time. We're going to go ahead and take it to NNRLeague.com. Take a look at that Zazzle tab, and we will be right back.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat preset league on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to NNRLeague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
All right, as always, anytime we take one of those NNR breaks, you won't miss anything out here on track. The 8-car Combat Beast, he's going to go ahead and take the front spot in order to guide this pack around. I would imagine he did not pit right there, Expert. In the 15 of King Mathers, he didn't pit either. He stayed in P number 2, or he did rather, and Combat Beast didn't. That's why he was able to be the control car. But a whole sea of pink now behind the 15 of King Mathers. He's got to be happy to see what he's got in his rear view instead of having to fight through all that traffic to work his way on up. Everybody out there in chat, please welcome the one and only TN Vols, the sole lead broadcaster for the NNR iRacing Series once he gets his butt out of South Korea and back to the U.S. on iRacing. Vols, buddy, welcome. We saw you rooting for King Mathers out there in chat as we got one more caution, quickie caution. And they're starting to make a little bit of a liar out of this. There's 3 cautions on the night. By now, J-Paw's probably out there saying, guys, settle down.
Hey, that's part of Bristol. Bristol racing, everybody wants to win this race. And you have cars that have been up front. I've been watching as I was getting on the bus to come to the barracks. King Mathers has been leading this race. He's been dominating. And, of course, I'm going to cheer for my buddy over here. It's guy right here that learned really easy how to run this track, and he's got a sea of pink behind him, and he's trying to take that win.
Yeah, King Mathers, I mean, he is no stranger to the front. Anytime he's got clean air on the front end of that Camaro, you've got to watch out for him. So he's going to go ahead and restart. This time he's going to be the control car. Combat Beast to the outside. So Combat Beast stayed out before. I think he just stayed out again. And yeah, you look at all 17 or 18 of these cars. I know we had 1 or 2 early retirees, but Mathers, one more time, Expert, with a great restart, putting that shifter to work.
Definitely, and that's something that a lot of these guys have been able to capitalize on, is the shifters that you talked about, using those to get great restarts. King Mathers really putting his to use, leaving the rest of the field almost too wide for several rows. They're now starting to get single filed out, but that's something that is definitely allowing him to get into that clean air and expand that gap and allowing him to just pull away, as they're now almost 3 wide there for second.
Yeah, almost 3 wide for second. Vols doing a phenomenal job. They've been doing great since the drop. It's been a little bit of a challenge to call this race for very obvious reasons. You got to kind of read the name off the bottom. Like here, we're riding along with PTH the GOAT. He started here in the NNR Xfinity Series just a couple of short weeks ago. Got his win in his in his first race, and right now sitting in about P5, P6 under fire from down low, but King Mathers is absolutely pulling away.
Yeah, if you look at what PTH the GOAT's doing right here, he's on that high side, and the guy's able to hold the bottom due to the fact that he'll sail it in just a little bit more. And it's something we learned in the truck series last night, and I kind of caught a couple people by surprise, and they started doing it later on in the run, is instead of just staying high, wide, and handsome, I went down to the bottom and sailed it in there and kind of scared the guy on the high side because they didn't think I was going to make that corner. But if you sail it in, tap that brake just a little bit. You ain't got to tap it too hard. Just make the back end kick, and you'll get a great run off the corner, and that guy on the high side is going to back off for you. But we see PTH the GOAT. He wasn't scared of what the dude did on the bottom, so he hung it up there, and he's trying to get him a second place finish here.
Yeah, he's done a great job. We watched the 11 earlier of Cinepuse really use that high line. He's able to work all the way to the rear, to the outside, to the front, and ultimately pull away from the 8 of Combat Beast that we saw just now. A spinner on the backstretch. We'll have to see if that was enough for a caution. I don't think he stayed in the racing groove. Must have gone on down to the apron, and if it was all by himself, J-Pa, as the series admin, will not go ahead and bring out the caution. But man, looking from second, third, fourth, and fifth, all the way up to first, this pack of pink is looking smaller and smaller and smaller as they're 3 wide right now for P4 going into the corner. Somebody had to let up. Great track awareness by these guys in order to keep it green, keep it clean. And caution's out one more time, and I'm gonna guess this is a manual caution.
Right now, these guys, they're as you see the lucky dog going around to get his lap. These guys have been showing that they're going to be trying to be aggressive here in stage number 2. A lot of these guys were put a lap down, so these cautions are actually helping a lot of guys get on the lead lap, and I think that's where a lot of guys are saying, hey, I can afford to be aggressive because of what we've been able to do so far as speed right now. Tough break for Unforgotten Shadow. He has a lot of damage on that 78 Toyota Supra, but a lot of guys throughout the field are taking these lucky breaks, able to get a lap back and try to get up there and battle once again for the lead and get back on the lead lap. So a lot of these guys really looking for these opportunities here in stage number 2.
Absolutely. Shanwar, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the NNR Xfinity Series. This is night number 2 for NNR. Last night we saw the 88 of TGM Beast in the Truck Series grab the W. Tonight it's still a battle. The top 3 spots are still up in the air. Everybody else that's out there in chat, you want to know how to follow NNR just like Shanwater did? Go ahead and take a look at this, and we'll be right back.
Hey NNR fans, don't miss any of the action by following or subscribing to Repeat's Twitch channel. Turn on notifications and you'll always know when the best preset league on Xbox hits the track. Check out his YouTube channel too to see all of NNR's past races. Follow No Name Racing as well as Repeat 1975 and others on Twitter, and you'll never miss any of the action.
So popular, I need that 99. I'm gonna be like my mentor Shad.
All right, we are back one more time. Everybody's filing out of pit road. Got one more dose of setups in. So if you don't have it in, if you don't have your car set up just right, we've had a couple of long runs so far. So everybody should know what their car is going to be like on that long run. Vols, you just mentioned, you were out there last night on track in that number 55 Dale Senior tribute car. Right along with, for your dad, rather. What was it like on the longer runs? What did you find you had to have as far as setup, tire pressure, tape, wedge, and all that to make sure you were going to be there at the end?
Well, I run an 8. I had an 8 in the preset selection. And what I did is I raised the right sides up a little bit, and I tightened it up. I think I went about 50.7 was the final wedge I ended at, and that tire was at right rear was at 38. I had a hot rod under me. I mean, if it wasn't for people blocking and all the crazy mess that it gets at Bristol, I think we could have had something there, but it looks like Yotes King is going to hold this lead right now, and I think he's looking to block at 15 because that 15 loves Camaro right there has been the class of the field. So let's see what Yotes King can do here on the bottom. If he can get that jump and slide up in front of 15.
Yeah, Yotes, he's been fighting through the traffic all night long trying to get into the top 5. Well, here is his chance. I'm going to guess since that green flag run was so short, I'm going to guess that he only took right side tires, probably didn't do anything on fuel, more than likely had enough fuel to go the remaining 38 or 39 laps. Expert, we're going back green here at the line. There goes Yotes pulling up. Nope, I'm guessing they called it off. And they're gonna go one more time around. So J-Pa pulling some trickaroo on us up here in the booth. But man, still, all these cars out here on track honoring Unforgotten Shadow. The lights here in the booth honoring Unforgotten Shadow. His mom, in case you weren't here earlier, you're not part of our Twitter or Facebook or anything like that. Unforgotten Shadow's mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. Well, the only thing that these cars here are missing is that breast cancer awareness ribbon. Other than that, it would be just perfect. And Combat Beast and Commando Grip out there saying that they're going to be taking the green in single file. So J-Pa says enough is enough. More than likely he told the boys, hey, settle down. Well, here's the ramifications. Now everybody's got to start single file. I'll get that right one of these days. But man, see Combat Beast out there. I saw his stream go dark, so we did lose one of our onboards. Combat, thanks for having it there while it was there. I guess unfortunately something happened. Early retiree for you. And Noah Quick 127. Thank you very much for the follow. Trying to work our way back up as we see Unforgotten Shadow go on by the field to get his lap back.
Curious to see what the single file restart's going to do. If they all hook that bottom, or if some of them kind of want to get it up top. I don't know exactly what the rule is for a single file restart, but I'm very surprised. We haven't seen these guys get as racy as we saw last night. Last night was a proverbial hornet's nest all night long. Everybody was 2-3 wide. You barely had any single file racing, and if you did, you had to hold your breath because in the next corner you were 2 or 3 wide again. So I'm surprised why, if these guys went with a more aggressive setup, if these guys, see that the lap time the laps are winding down. But my goodness, Yotes King got a massive start, and I think they waved it off again.
No, I don't know what they're doing. I think J-Pa might have called one more yellow because 1 or 2 cars were still on pit road, including the 78. If he just went to go to get his lap back, that meant that he was entitled to a trip down pit road to grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and then get going one more time. Starting to see the cars come back double file. So J-Pa must have had a second thought, said, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and trust you with it one more time. Spring Rock 64229, thank you very much for the follow. He's pulling for the 51 of Honeycutt as Honeycutt now rockets ahead. And I'm going to guess he might be getting a lap back too. Not 100% sure. The rest of the pack staying pretty idle. This is the officials hard at work, making sure that everybody's lined up in the right position. That way nobody feels cheated at the end. So we saw the 78 get a lap back. We just saw the 51 of Honeycutt. More than likely go ahead and get a lap back as well. He should be pulling back up to the rear end of this pack. Yeah, there he is all the way back there. And there we go. Now we're green here, fellas. Nope, one more time. J-Pop, please stop playing with us. Oh my God. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Yeah. Oh my God. All right.
I tell you what, after riding on board with all these Camaros and Toyotas and Fords, I really want to go home back to America and stop at a Love's Travel Stop. And these things look awful pretty. And now they're green. They're green, Pete, and they're into turn 1. And
yeah,
now
go
they're
figure.
Coming.
Yep, go figure. The one time I'm not talking about the leader and how he's getting ready to go. 15 of King Mathers all over the back bumper of the 48. Mathers to the inside. Mathers with a little bit of a slide job. Mathers back to the lead. Man, the sights and sounds under the lights here at Thunder Valley are phenomenal. It's been one hell of a race. Hopefully we can go green to the rest. Looks like we got about 28 laps left here in stage number 2. Mathers, just as he did before, breaking out to a little bit of a lead. More contact between third and fourth. One's going to go around, collect others. We will be back under caution one more time. J-Pie out there in chat. Sorry about that, Pete. I got you, buddy. I got you. Man, you got to do what you got to do to take care of those guys on the track, and I'll do what I can possibly do to help take care of all y'all right here with the help of old Expert and TN Balls. Pop Bear, thank you very much for the 100 bits out there in chat. Definitely appreciate you. Go ahead, Balls. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. I want to go back to when the restart happened and Yotes King kind of got on the high side there. Just a little bit of a move that Mathers was able to do. We saw the leaders yesterday in Tenacious and Spoiled Milk and Beast at the end. The line that he was able to run right there, you see him hook the bottom just a tad bit. That's harder than it looks, especially under another car that's pinching you down, that's holding you all the way to the bottom. He's able to hook the middle, hook the bottom, and never destroy his tires on the high side. So that's amazing to see as they come to the Geico restart zone and the green flag back out.
A little shotgun shy. Nope, it's not. Yeah, they took the game green, but no, I didn't say gangrene. I said game green, and yeah, I guess they're going to go back single file one more time. And look at this, the guy that everybody is paying tribute to, or at least his mom, the 78 of Unforgotten Shadow, right in front of the 15 of King Mathers. Guys, I talked about him before as well when I mentioned NNR Papa Bear and his turn down for what series on Saturday nights? Well, Shadows Racing League is going to kick back off this Sunday, about 5:30 in the afternoon, for yet another pair of tickets to Daytona. Vols, now we're going back green. 78 with a great little launch there.
Now we're back green here. 78 gets the launch. I think the reason he stayed out is he took the wave around right there, the caution before, and he was able to get fresh tires, and Haley didn't put a lap on him, so why not try to get some track position here? But now he has to hold the 15 off. He has to be able to work all 3 lanes right here and try not to put himself in a bad position as the 15 gets underneath the 78 here off the exit of 4. 78, 15 side by side, a little door banging. Expert, this racing's getting intense.
Definitely, and these guys taking pretty much a page out of old Dale Sr.'s book, trying to rattle each other's cages. Right now, that 15, though, back to the point, and he's going to look to pull away once again. But one thing that he's got to keep in mind, what happened to the guy that dominated stage 1 and 2 last night? Definitely, he cannot afford to make a mistake, so keep that in mind if you're King Mathers. Got to stay focused and cannot afford to make that mistake. It could cost you a race.
Papa Bear and More Than a Cape, guys, thank you very much for the 100 bits each. And Papa Bear throwing another 78 out there for old Shadow being the leader and leading at least 1 or 2 laps just before the 15 was able to work his way under. Vols were starting to get more of a gap. This was the reason behind the single file rule in the NNR rule book. If they get a little too dicey, little too jumpy, little too aggressive, stop with the give and you have a little bit more take. They had to figure out a way to slow them down when they're on new tires. Nobody wants to see King Mathers have this kind of a lead, but man, this is how the single file rule works. This is not something that you'll see over on the iRacing side because that sim controls all restarts. But this is how it's meant to work here on the Xbox side to make sure we get more green flag run in if and when we do get into a little bit of a stretch with more than 2 or 3 cautions. Once you get to 3, that's it. The series admin has the right to stop them, slow them down, single file them up, take them back green. And now you got a long line of pink here riding around Bristol Motor Speedway with about, what is this now, 12 laps remaining here to lock up stage number 2.
I think I'm the only one that would remotely like to see King Mathers keep this lead right here, only from a buddy perspective. And I cheer for him every week. But, as broadcaster, I want to see, more competitive racing right here for this lead. So if any of these guys can hear this broadcast and you're racing in this race and you need help, tell me what presets you're on and I'll tell you what you're doing. Get back in the gas at the peak. Let off at the light going into turn number 1. Let off at the light in turn number 3, and right when you hit the middle of the corner, smash that gas, yank that wheel sideways, and get a launch off the corner, and you'll get right up to his back bumper, because that's the exact same thing he's doing right here. It's the exact same thing he's doing. You can come up there and catch him, and maybe rattle his cage and give us something to talk about. There
you go. If you're going to listen to anybody, you might as well listen to Vols. Man drove that 55 truck around here to a second place finish last night. So, if he could do that, working through a field of just about 16 to 18 trucks, almost as many as we had out here at the start of the race, I'm pretty confident in his suggestions and in his advice. Still looking at the one car, the 48, the 78, and the 51 of Honeycutt, all back here in this little bit of a cluster about mid-pack, going through the corner. And man, expert, it's all single file, just about, except for when cars are being caught in the corners.
Definitely, and it's always nice though, like you mentioned before, it's always nice when Crew Chief Vols comes and visits. But right now, somebody that I'm looking at right now, PTH the GOAT, currently I believe he would be tallied in 4th right now. Don't quote me on that. It looks like he would be in 4th though. But he's a guy that I've been looking at for a while now. Of course, with how well he's done over the past few weeks, he was one of the few guys that's been able to go up there and give Mathers a run for his money. But right now, like I just mentioned, sitting in P number 4, he could be just biding his time and saving his full deck of cards until we get to the last stage.
Yeah, absolutely could be. I mean, can these cars be fixed on pit road? For the most part, yeah. I mean, if you get really bad aero damage here, it's not really going to matter. We saw Vols get all kinds of damage last night, and the only thing that it might have done was hurt his exit and maybe slowed him down in the middle just a little bit. But then you get to go down pit road, you get to just about full repair, as it looks like the 44 of Baritone Boss. I'm sorry, that wasn't Baritone Boss. Somebody that was right next to him went hard into the outside wall and flipped it up on its hood, kind of pirouetting a little bit. Looks like that's going to be the end of stage number 2. So that was a battle for that spot, and it looks like the guy we've been riding along with here for a little bit, the 11 of Cinepuse, he's going to finish in P number 12. So congratulations to King Mathers one more time on a stage 2 victory. We're about to set these guys off one more time. Stage 3 coming right at you. Man, definitely want to, hopefully you guys can keep it right here. We absolutely appreciate you. The longest stage of the stages about to start up. Hopefully we get that long run. I don't know if J-Paw's going to take them single file on the restart or let them go. I guess we'll find out here in about 5 seconds. But 2 stages in the books. Last one coming.
Yep, side by side here. Coming to the line. Get ready for the restart here. King Mathers on the bottom. And I think he is going to turn him loose here, because Mathers is hard on the throttle, hooking that bottom. I'm very surprised that if anybody else has a shifter that's up there on the outside, when you're coming on the restart, I'm not condoning putting a door to somebody, but when you get the restart, you can kind of come down just a tad bit and keep that shifter from getting any momentum, because it'll basically stall him out if you just give him a little bit of a touch. like I said, just throwing out ideas here for these guys to go side by side. But the moment he goes to drive that gear, come touch his door a little bit, and you're going to get along on the high side and stay side by side with him.
Yeah, very possible. And at that point, when it's just out of a trip down pit road, they're on brand new Eagle Feel Goods. Their car is heavy with gas as well. It may not be the worst time to touch them, but at the same time, little contact as possible. You don't want somebody pissed off at you. If they're going to be riding behind you at the end, they got a chance of putting the bumper to you, and they said, "Man, this guy's raced me clean all race. I'm not gonna give him the bump and go. We're just gonna finish as we are." Or are they going to have that memory? Man, this guy doored me at the start. All bets are off. I'd rather the first part of that. I want a clean race and really get up, get going, and get gone, just like this 15. As Chevy put the comment out there, public service announcement: don't door guys on the restart balls. Expert, well, man, this is a pretty long line of cars getting spread out yet again. I'm guessing there might be a little bit of a mixture. Maybe some guys didn't pit there at the end, and some guys did. I think Mathers might have stayed out, but we see the 20 right behind him. He wasn't up in the top 5, I don't believe, at the end of stage 2. I could be wrong. We weren't riding at the top 5 at that point, but Duramax back up in P2.
And that's one guy we talked about earlier who has been sneakily fast all race today, now being up in P number 2, and that just shows you how much he's improved, not only as with driver etiquette, which is a big part of this developmental system, but of course with overall speed. He's been able to get up there and is now making a little bit of contact, but still racing a pretty good race side by side with PTH to go. And that is no small feat for anyone if you've seen King Mathers and GOAT so far this season.
Yeah, Balls, man, I got to ask you one more thing. In that truck that you piloted around this place last night, did you prefer the bottom side or did you prefer the low side when it came to making passes?
Either. I don't want to sound like a smart ass, but either. I had the truck that I could go to the bottom. I could get to the high side. I mean, I try to stay away just as a pure preference. I don't like running that high lane unless it's, I'm trying to chase somebody down, because it just tears your stuff up. I mean, I'm sitting here watching Mathers and he's riding the middle. That's the perfect lane to run. If you run the middle, it saves your tires. It's going to save your confidence. It's going to save the right side of that car. Because if you're riding that high line, you're an inch away from pure disaster. And we watched Beast in the last 10 laps of that race yesterday. He hit that wall about 5 or 6 times because he was trying to ride that high lane. And I just prefer to stay in the middle. But I had it hooked up just about everywhere, and if it wasn't for the hard passing that it was, getting through a field of an NNR crowd, I think we could have had a better shot of winning it. But stupid mistakes loses races, and I tell you who's not making any stupid mistakes, and it's this 15 right here. He's been on a rail since the drop of this flag.
Chevy, I was actually just counting the same thing. 5 guys have somehow either lagged out or something happened. I know Combat Beast, he was out there in chat. He said he pulled into his pit stall and the game kicked him. I was actually on his onboard right when that happened, and it's very, very, very unfortunate. We have 5 guys sitting in their pit stall right now, which means we started off with 19 guys. We are now down to 12. That would be a good reason why it seems like the field or the packs have kind of thinned out just a little. Sinton VR, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the NNR Xfinity Series. These guys get it done every single week. The Trucks Tuesday, Xfinity Wednesday, and tomorrow night the Cup guys, which usually have the biggest field of them all, anywhere between 20 to 27 cars, will be on track. And man, we're only midweek. we have the trucks last night. We got the Xfinity tonight. We got the Cup guys tomorrow. Friday night we got iRacing. Saturday we got Turned Down for What with Papa Bear. Sunday we got Unforgotten Shadows Shadow Racing League with a grand prize ticket of a couple tickets to the Xfinity Daytona race in August. So man, a whole lot going on. If you want to know more, go on down to the About section below. You can hit on any one of the tabs to find out. But man, this is a very, very busy channel. Welcome along one more time, Sintan.
You are a very busy man, Pete. How you keep your sanity is beyond me.
I keep my sanity one lap at a time. But, just like Vin Diesel said in Fast and Furious, he lives his life a quarter mile at a time. Well, I run mine one lap at a time. Whether it's with NNR, American Ethanol, Turned Down for What, Shadow Racing, whatever it is. It's it's a lot of fun, a lot of great personalities, a lot of great racers, and I'm happy to be affiliated with all of them, but still only calling NNR home. Expert riding around right now with the 48 of Yotes King. He's got probably the closest battle that I've seen while going around the track. He's got a couple cars up high. He's sitting third in line, but yeah, a whole lot thinner than, very thinned out from the way it was when we first started.
Definitely, and that's going to cause a tough time for a lot of these guys to possibly get up there to the lead. Right now, looking around at King Mathers, he's got a pretty decent gap, and he's got lap cars that he's going to be chasing down here. So it's going to be a big question on what these guys who are trying to chase him down can do later in the run.
Chevy's out there telling me I can't do math, and you know what? He's right. I said 19 minus 5 is 14, and yeah, he's 100% right. And then he says, you know what? You're free on Monday. Thinking about starting a league to have you commentate. Oh, Chevy, where are you on Monday nights, buddy? You're right there with the NNR Truck Series over on iRacing, getting ready for the season. I'm not quite sure when the 11 race season is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be on Mondays or Fridays, but either way, it's going to be a good time. I need a day off. I need one day off. But no, man, Chevy, if you ever started something up, I probably do the same thing for you as I do for Papa Bear, maybe every other week. But we can work something out. Back to the 50.
I can tell you from the iRacing side.
Yeah.
That the 11 race series is going to be on Monday nights, the Friday nights. Once the 6 race season's over, I think it's about a 1 week break, and then they go do the 11 race season. And then by the time that's over, you might get a 2 week break of no racing whatsoever on iRacing. NNR sanction wise, and then you get to hear my beautiful voice for 22 weeks in a row with no off weeks at all.
Welcome to the world of broadcasting, sir. Yeah. So he just said you get to hear his voice for 22 weeks. You may want to go and find a deafening pair of earbuds or muffs or a good headset, because yeah, you hear that laugh. It's kind of evilish, I think. I don't know, but no, man, Vols, it's gonna be good to have you calling our races over on iRacing. NNR, reaching out. They've been on Xbox for a few years now. It's about time to broaden the horizons, get to that next level, reach to another platform, and yeah, absolutely go racing.
We got a battle for the lead. I think the 4 car has. I think you call it King Mathers. Yeah, I think that 4 is right there. He's ready to go. That's PTH to go. They're side by side for this lead.
Yeah, PTH to go down low, being right underneath the 15 of King Mathers off the corner. They're going to stay side by side one more time. Pop Bear out there dropping a big old 200 bits into the pool. Pop Bear, thank you very much. Yo, I mentioned Pop Bear quite a few times. Another 200 and another 200. Pop Bear's trying to get that hype train going all by his lonesome. Pop Bear, thank you very much for your generosity. Definitely looking forward to seeing what happens here in the final stages of your Cup Series this year. I know we just ran the elimination round last week at Daytona. Experts of Racing dropping 200 bits. Pop Bear with another 200 bits. That's a total of 800. See that, Chevy? I can do math. All right there in a very, very short amount of time. Guys, thank you very much.
About to say, we got to prove Chevy wrong somehow, so there we go. We got it. We got it done.
There you go. Oh, man. But, yeah, PTH the GOAT, he's got the lead, able to take it from the 15 of King Mathers. And looking behind these guys, yeah, you see 3 other cars all decked out pretty in pink, just like the booth here. And, yeah, they're single file. 15's trying to stay in the draft if there is just a little bit of that here at Bristol, and try to pull away from the rest of the field.
Right now, one thing though, just being able to see how he caught him, the big question is, what change did he make? I mean, did he listen to Terry, or, you know, with that strategy of how to run this track, or did Mathers fall off, or, like, I mean, I'm just wondering what happened.
And then there's Vols. Vols, man, thank you very much for 1,076 bits. Hype Train Level 2 leaving the station. Thank you very much, guys. Keeping it for, man, y'all are so freaking generous. I love it. But you know what, Vols?
Well, I don't know who tried to start that hype train, but I wasn't going to let them take my conductor away from me. I like what I got.
You know what, Vols? I just gave away $90 here last week in the form of 9 $10 Amazon.com gift cards. And the only reason they were Amazon.com instead of the Visa gift cards, which most people voted in that one pool that I gave out, we couldn't find Visa or prepaid $10 Visa gift cards anywhere. So that's it's kind of why it ended up being Amazon. But I know some people have put theirs to use, others not yet. And man, I know for example, NNR Cowboy. He's the admin over on the iRacing side. Also drives the 19 truck in the truck series on Tuesday nights. He went and bought himself a green screen, so that's pretty cool. So good to see part of it going to help other streams and keeping up with everything. Definitely a great feeling to give back when y'all have given so much. So again, everybody out there, thank you.
I think 15's coming down pit road here. We saw a bit. The pit road strategy here that they're using is a little weird. We saw the 15. I believe he stayed out. I was kind of flipping back and forth on his screen. He stayed out on the previous caution, and PTH the GOAT was able to drive up there and catch him. And now he's coming down pit road here. So now let's force what the leader's going to do. Is this going to even back out? Is Mathers going to keep this time? He was only roughly about a second behind PTH the GOAT. So what is Mathers planning? What is he going to be able to do? Is he going to be able to get up there? Is he going to be able to pass him again? Or is he going to have to sit there in P number 2? And is PTH the GOAT the fastest car on the track? We don't know. We haven't seen many people pass him and pull away. Even on old tires, he was able to stay with PTH the GOAT. I don't know if he tore his stuff up or if the tire wear had kind of came to fruition here. But now we got a car spinning there, but Mathers is going to hold this here, and now I got to go try to find this pink leader.
Well, talking about pink leader, no pink ladies out here on track. Everybody doing their best. Everybody manning up in this now 14. Here's that Chevy 14 car field after that either lag spike on pit road or what exactly happened. Not 100% sure, but definitely 5 cars less than where we were when we started. Rick James, the one and only Rick James TV, out there in chat. Guys, give him a big old welcome. Rick was here for many, many weeks during the beginning of the NNR season and has recently broadened his horizons a little bit over to the iRacing side. If you already follow him, you would have seen him broadcast, I want to say it was maybe a Legends or a modified race last night. If you don't already, go on over, give Rick James a big old follow. You will not be disappointed, I promise. The guy has grown in leaps and bounds after he still calls the TNT races, but he's me too. Vol's the same. Atlanta, we've all kind of grown together throughout the FFL tournament, and it's allowed us to get to different levels of where we want to be. And Rick James is no different. Go on over, give the man a follow, give him a like, give him a subscription. You won't be disappointed whatsoever. Rick, buddy, thank you very much for coming out. Gonna keep on going through the field here as the bits continue to get dropped. Level 3 now on the hype train with 4 minutes to the next level. Man, Vols, you dropped that 1076. It looks like Papa Bear, Cinepuse, and others, they're hot on your tail, buddy.
Nobody's going to hit 54,000 anytime soon.
This is a true fact. I don't know anybody that has been as generous as you. And not only on my stream here, I was tuned in with Rick James's stream last night, and I saw you drop 101, I dropped 102. You dropped 103, I dropped 103. We kind of called it quits right there. I'm kind of glad you did because I ran out of bits. But, man, you show love to Atlanta, obviously me, and I hope, and I really, really hope that when it comes time for you to broadcast live for the NNR Truck Series over on iRacing, that I and everybody else that's in the NNR community and elsewhere can be just as generous with your channel, because you've already stated anything you get, or most of what you get, will be going to morethanAcape.org. MorethanAcape.org, in case y'all don't know, is a pediatric cancer research charity. Y'all have heard of the Ronald McDonald House and, of course, St. Jude's and all that as we come to 62 laps to go. But morethanAcape.org is all about helping the families that are taking care of loved ones while they're in a pediatric unit somewhere around the country. They don't have to worry about food. They don't have to worry about rent. They don't have to worry about their bills. Everything is taken care of by these .orgs to help them out. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put the chat to morethanAcape.org. I'm sorry, going to put the link out there in chat, I should say. Go on over, read up on TJ's story, and absolutely let it tug at every single heartstring you've got. As Papa Bear drops 1,000 bits into the chat, bringing the hype train to very, very close to a level 3. We got about a minute and a half to make it to level 4. Man, definitely appreciate it. Still riding out here with the 98 of Master Killer. Expert, I am rambling, and these laps are winding down.
Definitely, and with all these guys that are out on track, with these laps winding down, it's going to cut into the time they have to possibly make moves. King Mather's still having to make up some ground. Of course, PTH, the GOAT, has a lot of guys to be able to hold off. But with around 57 laps to go, and these guys still trying to run through the pack, it's going to be a tough challenge for a lot of these guys to see how they're going to be able to make it to the end and what strategy is going to help them the most.
Yeah, what strategy indeed, as you're still riding with the 98 Master Killer, and just had somebody come on up and Match Killer ended up giving him a little love tap to the back end of that Mustang, trying to work our way through as Cole 315 just now leaving pit road. John Fry, Uncle Fry, Nephew Fry, Fry Dog, dropping 100 bits in there, and there's Vols Fan with another grand, bringing it to 52% inside of a level 4. If we do, I tell you what, if we get to that level 5, I will drop $100 tomorrow in the NNR Cup Series. And look, I say we'll do 10 more Amazon.com gift card, 9 more Amazon.com gift cards tomorrow if we get to that level 5. Man, I think y'all are freaking, you're killing it. Thank you. Commando Griff now in that 13 looks like he's gonna be another lag out. Unfortunately, he was showing a little bit of surging earlier, but I don't think it was just him. As we saw, 5 or 6 cars now down on pit road, unable to continue. One of them included is the 8 of Combat Beast, who has been very, very strong all season long. Sorry, Vols, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I know. I was saying Papa Bear's in here trying to create a war on these bits.
Yep,
so,
he just dropped another grand.
You're making it tough on me, Papa Bear. You're making it tough.
Papa Bear with another 1,000 bits. Oh man, y'all are. I guess Papa Bear is saying, yeah, Pete, you might as well run to the store and and pick up those Amazon.com gift cards once you get off stream or during your lunch tomorrow, because it's about to happen. Man, Expert, I you know what? There may only be 14, maybe 13 cars still left out here on track for this NNR Xfinity race, but you hear them all getting hard on the throttle, laying off, maybe like Vol said earlier, tapping a little bit of the brake and doing everything they can to make sure that they can survive till the end. Riding along right now with one of our onboards, the 11 of Cinepuse. He's got 48 laps left in the tank and 46 laps left to go. So these guys can all get it done, and they should all be good to go to the end. Depending, there's no cautions, nothing like that. Vols Fan gifting a tier 1 sub. It looks like that's what? He just gifted out 5 tubs. 1 to Commando Griff, 1 to Taylor Land, another one to 213127. Not quite sure who that is. 1 to More Smoke the Great. Brandon got a sub. Absolutely, man. All those guys are gonna love being able to log into a race, not have to watch any of the pre-race commercials or ads or anything like that. No ads except for the NNR ads during the stage breaks while the race is ongoing. They're going to absolutely love you for that, Vols. I imagine that during your stream, whether it's later on in iRacing or now, I would imagine that you're gonna get a big old thank you. 98% sitting on this hype train, getting there, ladies and gents. Going through the field, continuing on, and looks like we got some people going down pit road.
Yeah, I'm wondering here if Mathers passed PTH the GOAT. I see he's in front of him here, and I'm trying to differ on who's the lap down, who's not a lap down. I saw the 54 just past the 15. I'm lost with the pretty in pink here, and like I said, NASCAR Heat 704 people. Come on, man! It's not hard to put a ticker out here. If NASCAR Thunder 2005 could do it, I think you guys could.
Rock NASCAR comes in clutch with 500 bits to put us over the edge. 115% Tier 5 hype train. The train has pulled in on time. I will be going out tomorrow to give away 9 $10 Amazon.com gift cards, courtesy of all of you out there in chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, y'all are phenomenal. Oh, I forgot where I was or who the leader was. I am completely lost. Thank you so very much, everybody.
I was just looking for King Mathers' stream. I saw that he had a stream up a little bit earlier, but I couldn't seem to find it. I think he still has this lead right now, and they're up here on lap traffic. PTH the Goat's running in P number 2, and he's lapping the 98 right here in this beautiful purple and pink and old yellow colored thing. I'm halfway colorblind, so let's not make fun of me here. But
I love you too, Papa Bear. Thank you, buddy.
They're pretty close to one another. The King Mathers isn't able to step away. PTH the Goat's driving. I don't know if he was listening to me or not, but he's driving it the way that I was last night. Sail it in, peek her up, get in the gas, come on, haul it around, and he's catching it. This is going to get intense.
Absolutely. Next time Cinepuse comes out by the start stripe, we'll go ahead and grab another lap count. Looks like 33. So double threes up in the air for this NNR Xfinity Series race live from Bristol Motor Speedway. And oh, by the way, I don't know if y'all saw, the word or the news about Bristol being a dirt race for the Cup Series since I think they said 1950, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be huge. You can actually Google Bristol dirt race and then pull up images. This place is already covered in dirt. It looks phenomenal. It looks like a big orange ring. It's already very packed down. The rain is absolutely helping it. I would love to see a sloppy, muddy mess when the Cup guys get there to race around. A lot of people are saying the likes of Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell, and if they're going to allow Tony Stewart to run and a couple others, are going to have to be your favorites. But man, I can't wait to see what that place is going to be like. I think it's going to be like a 3:30 start time. So man, it's going to be awesome. But aside from Bristol, Vols, Expert, Shadow, Papa Bear, Alpha York, King Mathers, J-Pa, there's going to be so many of us that are going down to Daytona in August. Absolutely cannot wait to see all of y'all down there. And yeah, Vols, I guess I can spring for that first one.
Yeah. I mean, the Bristol dirt race, I hope they do it the way that it should be done, the way Eldora did it. A couple heat races, a last chance qualifier, throw them suckers out there, and let's have some good old. I was hoping Saturday night dirt track short track racing, but I mean Sunday evening is just as good in the daylight. Maybe it'll. I don't think they're going to run 500 laps out there like they normally do. So we'll kind of see. But this battle for the lead's heating up. PTH the GOAT he's hot on the heels. I mean, he is right there in that number 4. He's putting the pressure, forcing Mathers into some mistakes, going opposite of where he's going. Expert, this battle for the lead's getting pretty hot with about 20, 26, 27 to go.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure if you can hear me right now. My internet's having a little bit of an issue right now.
We got you
on my end, but
yep, we got you loud and clear, buddy.
Alrighty, but right now, of course, with all these guys still, right now, Unforgotten Shadow actually just lagged out. That is very unfortunate. A lot of guys have lagged out. Of course, we've already hit that infamous bump, but of course, heading down the stretch as the laps wind down, this is starting to get into crunch time for a lot of these guys. Can they save enough on their tires to make it to the end? Now contact 15 of Mathers for PTH to go. Mathers now sliding down and hitting the inside wall, and that is a tough break for him. Eerily similar to what happened to Tenacious just last night.
Yeah, I tell you, Balls, if you were watching, I think you were, because you were talking about PTH to go for just a little bit. He was, I don't know if it was a little bit of lag or if he just lost it and was trying to catch it real quick, but it seemed like his car jerked sideways and the two made contact, but I'm guessing the banking got the better of the 15. PTH the GOAT, you just saw his wheels turn flat left, and he was trying to save this thing. Oh man, that Camaro's got to be extremely loose, but now Vols, he's got no competition whatsoever. I imagine Mather's going to go ahead and work his way down on the pit road. As I look on with the 11 of Cinepuse on his stream for lap counts and whatnot, it looks like we got about 18 to go. His front right is screaming. He's only got about 13% left on the right front. Nobody's going to be able to make it to the distance. Everybody's going to have to come on down. So yeah, that spin wasn't a good thing for Mathers, but if he went down pit road, he might still be able to save it and come away with a half decent finish. He's got a strong car.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking for something like that to happen. We watched it in the truck race last night with the old 21 truck coming around, and then the 20 car spun as well. Opened the door for Beast to get the win. And right here, you just saw them get together. You know, you coming off the corner, and like you said about the banking, when you exit off of one of these corners, you want to exit as straight as possible. And I know somebody probably in the chat going, "There's no way you can exit the corner here at Bristol straight." Well, actually, you can. That's what makes you a little bit faster here, is when you're turning through the center and you get to the center of the corner, which is the first Tennessee sign, and you hit the gas, the back end kicks out, and you get that launch straight down the hill, and it's going to let you go straight. But the way he exited right there, you had a guy on the high side was exiting kind of sideways, and you had him exiting trying to go up. And it's a recipe for disaster here at the world's last great Coliseum. And PTH the GOAT just had it handed to him in a silver platter, and now he can see the victory if he just keeps it all together, rides that middle lane, and don't push that car any more than you have to.
Well, 12 laps to go, 15 laps in fuel, 9% on the right front for I'm trying to get back to him right now. Let's see, there he is, the 11 of Cinepuse. He's got to come on down pit road. If he pops that right front, his race is done. Right now, he's sitting in P6. If he can get on the pit road and get off pit road with little issue as you watch the 20 come on around him, he could still salvage possibly a good top 5, depending on what everybody else has to endure in their entry, their exit, and what they decide to do. I would imagine right side only if you practice that kind of balance during the week, and half a can, if that, because you can't go any lower. So we'll have to see.
I wouldn't. Going 2 tires here at Bristol for the short amount of time that they're going to be on, guys like that, I would say you would need a caution. I don't see this leader coming down pit road. To be perfectly honest, I think him and Mathers had the tire situation all down. I don't know if Cinepuse is on controller or if he's on a wheel, but the controller game tears the right front up. The wheel game tears the right rear up. But on the wheel, you can save that right rear better than you can save it on the controller. So I don't know if PTH the GOAT's on one or the other, but it looks like he's able to save that tire. He's backing his corners up really well here. So if we see the leader pit, I would be definitely shocked, as right now it looks like they're coming to about 10 to go here.
Yep, it's very possible. Cinepuse showed, I think he showed 6 laps before, but I'm not sure if he's a lap down or not. So right now, just riding along with the 4 of PTH the GOAT. Yotes King is sitting in P number 2, and KFB 18 right now is P number 3. So right now, check this out, Expert and Balls. Only the top 4 are on the lead lap. Maybe the top 5 going back to Cinepuse. So everybody else is 1 or more laps down. Yeah, for everybody from 4th on back. Yeah.
Well, that's the product of long green flag runs, and we could have saw that last night in the truck race as well. We just lost Expert. His internet just disconnected. But like last night, we could have gotten a longer green flag run towards the end. And we saw cars start going a lap down, trucks going lap downs, and something happened and nothing went. Or is going on here, but he is slower than mess.
That's it. So the 4 of PTH to go. He's going to go ahead and grab the W. KFB 18 and P2. Yotes King's going to bring it home. P number 3. As soon as we get back, I'll see if I can grab the rest of the top 10 for you. And looks like it's going to be Duramax 4th, King Mathers in 5th. So still a great finish for him. Cinepuse in 6th, Old Tweeter in 7th. 8th is going to be Cole, Q-Dog in 9th, and 10th is going to be Master Killer. Everybody 5th on back was 1 lap or more down. So what a stretch of speed. And, man, way to get the job done, guys. All right, so we're going to back on out of here right along with everybody else while they get their cool-down lap in. And we will be right back with post-race interviews from your top 3. Please, by all means, keep it right here. Appreciate you. All right, everybody, we are back. Thank you very much for keeping it right here. Definitely appreciate every single one of you. All right, so we got our top 3 in the booth. I almost said top 3 in the GOAT because, yeah, the GOAT just laid the smackdown on the rest of the field. But, man, big congratulations to the GOAT. We'll get to him in just a sec. But, Vols, let's see what old Yotes King has to say.
Oh, what's up, Yotes? It's old Vols over here.
What's up, Bulls?
What's up, man? P number 3 tonight. You ran a pretty clean race, pretty consistent there. What did you need to do to go up there and catch Goat and Mathers when they was up there battling?
You know, I heard someone say it last night, just keeping the car clean, making sure I'm rolling through the corners right. I messed around with my car a little, added some tape, made the car feel amazing after that. But, you know, just keeping that nose clean.
Yeah, we watched you keep it clean there. What was your base setup? We saw a lot of cautions come out early in the race and in stage 2. Was a lot of people loose out there, or was it just a product of hard Bristol racing?
You know, it was just Bristol racing, man. I mean, it was definitely a wild night, but, you know, coming in, I came about halfway on my setup, man, and just the way it went, it was off to a rocky start, but like I said, those little adjustments definitely changed a lot later on in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations on P number 3. Any shout-outs for you tonight?
You know, thank my mom, dad, Shadow. I mean, we're here for you, Shadow's mother. You know, we got the cars out here. I pulled out the 48 just for this occasion. You know, because I heard that's what Shadow's mother was her favorite driver. And yeah, man, and Coey and you two for putting this on.
Yeah, well, congratulations on P number 3. Pete, I think you got a KFB 18 right here.
Absolutely. KFB, I tell you what, usually we see you in that number 54 double Twix Toyota, week in and week out. You've been strong, working your way higher and higher in the points after joining later in the season. But man, it seems like we're talking to you more often than not. Talk us through your stages, talk us through your race, and what did you think you might have if PTH the GOAT and Mathers would have door banged and maybe slowed both of them down instead of only Mathers suffering off that contact?
I had a really good car. I felt like first stage, second stage, and it would have helped me out a lot if I didn't. I struggled restarting there. I missed my second shift of the night, and at the beginning of that stage 3, and that put me 3 seconds behind right off the bat. But PTH and Mathers was definitely fast tonight. We had a lot of good cars tonight. I don't think it's hard telling. I think I had a good enough car to keep up with them, but right there at the end. But who knows? Good. Congrats to PTH on that win.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, King Mathers, PTH the GOAT, and a couple others led throughout the night, but no more than I believe those two. So big congrats to them. Any shout outs for you, man?
Yeah, man. I just want to shout out all these guys that stay and broadcast, stay and watch your guys' broadcast. All these guys that tune in, and I want to thank you guys for putting it on for us. I want to thank J. Paul and all the admins that put on this show, and just blessed to be here in this position, guys. Thank you, guys, and I want to shout out for Shadow's mom and Shadow. We're here for you, buddy, and we support you.
There you go. Well, I tell you what, buddy, the GOAT is all yours, Vols. Go for it, man.
Man, getting to take the winner of the past 2 times I broadcast with you. PTH the GOAT, the Tom Brady tonight. Put the GOAT hat on, my man, because it looked like nobody had anything for Mathers there for a little bit. And I watched you drive through the field after one of the cautions. It looked like he stayed out. You got up there, you passed him, and you took command. And once he got past you again, he never left you again. You stayed very, very close to him. Kind of walk through what happened. Did it look like he just broke loose? You guys made a little bit of contact when he was trying to save it. What happened to ultimately give you a commanding lead?
Well, it looked like he got really loose off the corner and allowed me to kill the huge run on the outside, and he bounced off of me and went into the inside wall. And there wasn't much I could do. I was against the wall, scraping it the whole front stretch.
Well, man, you had one hell of a hot rod under you. What base setup did you go with, and kind of did you change your mentality of how you drove this race and how you drove the track throughout the race? Because it looked like you guys would let other people, people would get a big lead on others, and then it looked like as the race progressed and the long run started progressing, your car really came in. Did you set your stuff up for a long run, or did you kind of go balanced and kind of stay in the middle?
I picked a balance 6, and I was trying my best to save my stuff at the start of the run, so I would have a good car for the long runs, and it ended up working out, and I'm happy to win.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations on the win. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out to all the admins in this league. They do a good job. They try their best. And shout out to my dad while I caught one for you finally.
Well, congratulations on the win. Incredible race, and we look forward to seeing what you can do here in the Xfinity series as the season looks like to be wrapping up.
Yep, hopefully I can get a few more wins before the season's over.
Absolutely, and as the famous words from old Dohar, back to you, Pete.
Thank you, buddy. I tell you what, it absolutely warms the heart to hear a guy, say, Dad, this one's for you. Vols, that's right up your, man, that's right up your path, man. You ran an all black and silver with the red pinstripe for your dad, which he unfortunately lost not too long ago. And, the GOAT, here he is. I did not think I'd hear PTH the GOAT say, I got one. With the amount of speed and, the track awareness and the way that he's able to play this, I would have thought that he'd be racking in the wins left and right. But it kind of sounds like he knows just how hard it is to win one of these things here in NNR, and he's doing one hell of a job. PTH to GOAT, great job, great win. I'm sure if you go on over and you follow the Facebook channel that the one and only Rock NASCAR's got put together, you're going to see your name underneath the NNR logo with a big old congrats and way to keep digging. Good job by you. Well, unfortunately, we lost Expert, but Vols, from the time you were here till now, and what you were able to put down on the track last night, what did you take away from this week so far between the truck and Xfinity season, or races?
So far,
rather?
It just goes. Yeah, well, so far it goes to show you that these guys aren't afraid to mix it up. They're not afraid to go 2 and 3 wide, and I expect the exact same tomorrow night in that Cup race. If you're tuning in right now and you're going, man, this is incredible to watch, I promise you tomorrow night's going to be even better. You have a plethora of names that you see in the Pro League, guys that you see winning races all over or in the Winter Heat Series. They're here in NNR. And tomorrow night at Bristol is going to be the same. You got Stout Whiskey. You're going to have a Moore. You're going to see the Aviator. I mean, you're going to see Boehner. All these good people that are going to be racing in the Cup Series tomorrow night. I expect to see a lot of side-by-side 2 and 3 wide around the corners. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of cautions, but it's going to be incredible to watch. But to me, taken away from the track, it looks like every single race we do here at Bristol, there's 2 lanes. You got the bottom and you got the top. In the middle, if you can really hang your car sideways and you can hang on to a loose car or truck, you can make the middle work and possibly come out here and get a win. But we've seen 2 incredible shows so far, and I don't think the Cup's going to be any different.
No, tomorrow's not going to disappoint by any measure. And, you mentioned Stout Whiskey, you mentioned Boehner, the Aviator, More Smoke, CGMX Rose, Lucky Dog, and a few others. Taking it back to those Pro League races and the challenges that came after the Pro League Season 2 ended, don't forget, there were like 6 or 7 NNR drivers inside of that setup race. So that just also goes to show how well-versed NNR is, not only on the preset side, where they are just hands down the best, but they can hold their own over on the setup side as well. Old CGMX Rose walked away with that winter season championship. So guys, thank you very much for coming on out one more time, for keeping us busy. All the bits that were thrown out, Pop Bear, Vols, Expert, and so many others. Rock NASCAR came in clutch with the final 500 to give us that hype train level 5 boost. Guys, I absolutely appreciate you. And yeah, tomorrow right after work, I'm going to take a quick run on over to Wally World or somewhere and find myself probably about 3 packs of Amazon.com $10 gift cards, and we'll be giving those away. I'll figure out a way how, I promise. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and pick on a stream to go ahead and raid. I think I saw the one and only Alpha York out there over on the iRacing side. I think we'll go ahead and hit him up here in just a moment. But between now and then, guys, please, stay away from the big packs. Wear your mask. Let's all kick COVID in the and get back to a track as soon as possible. I absolutely appreciate every single one of you. Thanks again for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, and keeping it right here. It's one hell of a family, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Y'all have a phenomenal night. Later.